Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacqueline. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacqueline at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to World Jenny's Day and USA Global TV. And what a day we've had. We're halfway through a marathon day, and the reason why it's been a marathon day is because it's World Jenny's Day, and we're being available, and we're having performers from all over the world performing in their time zones. So it's made it an elongated day. For some of our performers later on, it'll actually be the 11th of October, but still 10th of October in the US. So it's really quite a special happening that we have here today. And what a list of performers, what a lot of talent we've witnessed and been a part of. And I'm just so pleased as we normalize conversations around depression and suicide through creative arts, performing arts, and the arts, because that really makes a difference when you apply yourself to that. And today, or at this section, we're going to be having two people who are making a difference at a young age. And the first person I would like to introduce you to is actually one of World Jenny's Day's ambassadors. And she joined as one of our ambassadors last year, came in World Jenny's Day studio and interviewed me at 15 years old. And inspiring Vanessa Sam, actually, I mean, she's achieved so much from a young age, public speaking from about 8 years old. And last year, I think it was last year, she got the Diane Award here in UK. Such an exceptionally talented girl, but what a lovely personality and fabulous soul. Inspiring Vanessa Sam, come and join us up on the stage. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Hello, darling. It's just so lovely to see you again. It's been far too long. And I'm just so pleased. I'm just so pleased that you're with us today. So I just wanted you to give a bit of background on what got you into doing what you do from such a young age. How did that lead? How did you get led to be there?
So I began when I was 9 years old. So I've been doing public speaking, kind of building my personal brand for 6 years. So it's quite a long time. I've kind of grown up doing this pretty much. So it's just been a massive part of my life, really. But I kind of discovered that I wanted to be a speaker, or that I wanted to use my voice to help people, was when I attended an inspirational event. And one of the speakers that I was following on social media at the time, and he invited me to speak up on stage. And me at 9 years old, I was very concerned, definitely a very different point of confidence and openness compared to now. So my first reaction was not to go on. But thankfully, something told me, and my mum gave me those encouraging words to go and do it. And yeah, I guess you could just say it was just a big realization that this is something that I'd wanted to do. And I always knew that I could talk about a lot of things and I could talk to people, but I didn't think about putting it to a good use, so to speak. But I always knew that I wanted to help people. So when 2 and 2 came together, I realized it's something that I wanted to do. So yeah, ever since then, I've just decided to pursue speaking, presenting, acting, speaking, whatever it is. Yeah, it's been a wild journey, but I'm very grateful.
You know, Vanessa, one of the things that really impresses me about you is your naturalness. You've just got a lovely natural way about you, and I often wonder how do you find that. I mean, with you being natural, I'm sure it's easier, but is it difficult at school when you're kind of on celebrity status? Do you find that affects your friendships, or what happens at school with you being like that?
I currently am in year 12, so I've been at like basically sixth form at college for almost half term now. It's our last week before we go into half term. But I'm still staying in the same school that I started when I was in year 10, so it hasn't been too much of a big change. But when I was like in primary school, it was very difficult. Well, not difficult, I'd say, because I did a few assemblies at my school, kind of explaining what I did, which was very nerve-wracking, but at the same time, I did get a lot of support. But I think someone in my class began to put like these nasty comments on my channel at the time. So I ended up going through this really big, rough patch when I was a lot younger. I'd be coming home after school crying into my mom's arms, like, I don't know why people don't like me. If I'm helping people, why can't you like me back, sort of thing. But I think that was also a big lesson for me at that time, that you can do the best things in the world. You can help people as much as you can, but people just either don't want to accept help. People who don't want help can't be helped. And also, I think not everyone's going to support you in your journey, and that's okay. It's okay to not be understood all the time, you know. It's as long as you understand yourself and why you're doing what you're doing. So that was a big lesson for me. But at the moment now, I think I've definitely become very aware of who I surround myself with, and I've always been a big kind of preacher on that, and the people who you surround yourself with is really important. But yeah, my friendship group at school, they're all very supportive. I don't really mention what I do outside of school a lot, especially now that I'm around new people, but it is slowly starting to be known. But I'm okay with that, you know. It's not like I'm putting it out there just to kind of show off anything. I'd rather kind of be introverted in that way and let people find out one way or another. But so far so good, and I'm very grateful for everyone's support, because people have been very, very kind, and I'm glad that I have the circle that I do.
It sounds like you certainly got it in a place of manageability, and I would imagine, I mean, I'm putting words in your mouth, but did you find that having had that difficult time, that it's prepared you for now and to be what you are now, or would you
Yeah,
say it's helped you?
I think absolutely, yeah. I think because of that lesson that I learnt when I was younger, I've always taken that with me in everything that I did. You know, even if it's just for school, like if I do a piece of work that I'm really proud of, not everyone is going to be the biggest fan of that, and that's okay. It's one thing to understand people's point of views, but also take on constructive criticism. You know, that's something I've learned over the years as well, and to learn how to improve on things. It's just a lot about knowing your own character and how you can use other people to not use other people's, or not putting it that way, but how you can use other people's opinions to kind of help you improve as a person. So I do think it definitely has shifted the way I kind of socialize in that way. And I'm always very careful with the people who I'm friends with, because yeah, it's just the day and age of this world. You don't know what people want or their intentions behind things. So I think it definitely was a big pinpoint for me, as like in a personal journey, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And mixing a lot with theatrical circles and actors and actresses and premieres and things, do you find a lot of people find that it's quite a false world? Do you find it's a false world?
Yes, 100%. I think I was speaking about this with one of our friends this week actually, and I think despite I guess you would say the current climates of the world, I do think that the media, especially in the US, is a lot more open to things like that. But in the UK here, there's still so much unconscious bias, I'd say, when it comes to those kind of big events, or even if it comes to acting jobs. So I would say that it is very fast. You need to be a certain type of person to kind of get through it. And I'm a person who gets very overwhelmed very easily. So when I do go to events, despite me showing the best parts of the event, there have been times where I've almost been panicking because there's so much going on. So I think as much as I love to show the limelight myself, it is important to realize that there's a lot that goes behind doing those things. So I would say, yeah, it is a very fast-paced world to be in, and you need to be a very kind of what's the word they call it, like thick-skinned person. I don't know if that's the right phrase for it, but yeah, you just need to, yeah, there's a lot that you need to kind of undergo to be in this kind of world of this kind of industry.
Yeah, or I would imagine also another good way of saying it is being able to, because I could never have done that at your age. At 16, I was a wave of emotions, very sensitive. But it for me now at 64, I would be able to stand and look at that and look at that scenario and see it for what they were going through and what's happening with them, and that it has nothing to do with me. And I wondered if that's something you at a young age of 16 have been able to do at all, or understand, where it's kind of like you watch people act things out. I'm able to stand back now as I've got older and watch them act out, because there's stuff within them or things happening within their lives that has created that, and actually has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one.
I think in the past few years, like especially I think during the pandemic, there was a lot of self-awareness when it came to things like that as well. And I think like over the past few years, it's been very like prominent, that kind of the phrase that goes, hurt people. And when I first heard that, I was like, that does make a lot of sense. And I think from a young age, I kind of understood it a little bit, but I think now I've understood it a lot more. And yeah, I do think that sometimes the way that people act or actions towards things, that is a huge outcome of their circumstances that we have no idea that's going on. And I also kind of try to put myself in other people's shoes, looking at yourself kind of thing. Like, as much as I portray that I'm happy all the time, would someone actually know if I was going through something difficult, if I was going through a rough patch or whatever it is? So I kind of try to imagine someone else looking at me that way, and vice versa. So I do think that everyone should become a lot more, I guess, what's the word for it? Tolerant towards things that happen, or the way that people act out, because you don't know what's going on. But at the same time, I am a big person in saying there can be reasonings for things, but it also doesn't justify actions. It can explain things and we can understand them better, but it doesn't excuse someone from a situation if it ended up hurting someone else in that way. So it's a difficult one, but there's a lot of different perspectives you can touch on when it comes to that.
It certainly is. And as I say, I don't think I could have worked all that out at 16. And for me, I think hormones are all over the place. And that's what I've admired about you. It seems like you've transitioned from being a child into teenagerhood with some amazing coping skills and tools to get you through it all, and to stay consistent. And I really admire you for that. And it's why it was with such a lot of honor that and I was so pleased to be able to invite you to be a World Jenny's Day ambassador, because this is about the youth as well, and it is about the next generation up and coming, and how wonderful to have somebody that has these points of views and that disposition that can help others to feel inspired that they too can be the same. So, accolades to you. So, Vanessa, our guest. We have 15-year-old Phoenix Hadden to join us, and I'm not quite sure what's happened to her. She's coming through to sing for us and then be interviewed by you, but I think something must have happened since then. So I thought what I'd do is talk a little bit about the theatrical production insight that we put on 3-4 years ago. And I talked about this a little bit earlier, quite a lot earlier, because we've been going quite a few hours now, how after I lost my daughter Jen to suicide, I went to a very dark place and wondered how I could ever get out of it. And I was walking mindlessly along a street and trying to cross the road, and did cross the road, but it was amazing I didn't get hit. And about halfway, at the halfway mark, I realized that I had forgotten I had choice, and that I didn't need to be the mother who'd lost a daughter to suicide. And I got to the other side and realized that actually I could do something about it. And although that was part of my life, it wasn't the part of my life. And that's when I started searching and researching and studying for new accurate skills and tools to get moving with, and haven't looked back really. And 4 years ago, we put on a theatrical production on depression, suicide, and the solutions to that, and we depicted that into a dance, a contemporary piece of dance with my voiceover and music. One of the other things that I noticed was with dealing with Jenny, my 16-year-old, who was in a really difficult state of mind, was that she'd say, okay, now I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be really, really positive. There we go. I'm being positive. I'm being positive. I'm being positive. And then she'd say, okay, now I'm going to be all right. And then life would start happening all around her, almost shouting and screaming at her. And she didn't know how to handle it. So that was the other part of crossing over that we added, was that it's all very well saying, yes, I'm going to be positive now, and I'm going to get over feeling compromised. I'm going to get over feeling depressed. But without the skills and tools, and I think that's where a lot of young people often are, they just don't know how to do it, because it isn't just about being positive. So I'm going to show this piece for everybody to see out of the theatrical production Insight. I believe you can't hear anything. And I'm not sure why this isn't working. I obviously can't share videos, Dr. Jacqueline, and I'm not sure why. I wondered about it earlier. So, because it's all full of commentary, there's music and commentary, a voiceover, my voiceover, in fact, talking about what's happening. So I'm not sure what technical stuff we're going through here. So, Vanessa, do you want to talk to me about what I've just spoken about? Does it ring a bell, or this, about being positive?
Yeah, I think that's why I kind of fell in love with World Jenny's Day as well, because it's all about expressing yourself, and I think that was a really big aspect for me, because I think we always try and, when it comes to mental health, we always talk about speaking about your feelings or finding ways to communicate your feelings, but not everybody can do that. Not everybody is always okay with speaking to someone, or maybe they don't have someone to speak to. So I think just the idea of expressing how you feel rather than trying to tell or speak about how you feel makes a massive difference to a lot of people. So I think when it comes to bringing in the arts, there is a lot of positivity that can come from that, through someone expressing themselves through the arts as well. So I think that's a really big part of trying to remain in a positive mindset, or trying to remain in a good mood majority of the time, or whenever you can be. I think it's always finding ways to express yourself, whether that is through dancing, spoken word, painting, like whatever it is. I think just the idea of expression, you can really find a lot about yourself, I think, just for expressing yourself. I mean, if you read people who write just how they feel, they kind of tell themselves how they feel, and they didn't even know how to communicate that from before. So I think, yeah, this is a big part of remaining positive, I'd say.
Yeah, because I think before now, people are talking a lot more openly about their feelings than ever before. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I think because of social media and stuff, mental health has become less of a stigma. But I do think there still is some kind of taboo around mental health, or how we deal with that. I think despite the fact people being authentic online or being authentic in person, I still think there is a lot to be said about how we express our mental health, our exterior, to other people as well, which I think is something that should be looked into more often, and kind of how we cover up the way we feel, despite us knowing it's okay to feel a certain way. So I think there's always going to be a lot of work to do in any kind of area that you're talking about. But I do think we've made a big improvement when it comes to breaking down that stigma and actually opening up the conversation about it, especially like in education as well. Schools are becoming a lot more open to understanding exam stress, for example, or understanding workloads, and telling students from obviously a young age that mental health is a normal thing, that we all have it, and these are some ways that we can support you. So I do think we are making a big turn in the right direction, but as I said before, there's always going to be work to be done to improve.
Yeah, I think there is, and it really has made a difference that people feel a little bit more normal in expressing themselves. Because I can remember before losing Jen, one day I really tried to understand what it was that was eating her up. So, and she'd say, well, this person said that and did that at school, and then this happened, and then that happened. And I said to her, but Jen, everybody has that happen to them at some time. We're all challenged like that from some time or another. It's life, it's natural, it's normal. And I remember her saying to me, but Mum, I'm not everybody. And I think that's the thing, is that there's quite often this general tarring of the brushes that this is what you should do and ought to be, and It's abnormal if you're just not going to accept that that's life. And I've noticed this in a lot of my work that I do, that there's that expectation that you've got to be something because society dictates that whatever you're dealing with isn't that big of a deal. And I've seen this time and time again. I don't know if you've come across it with friends or for you yourself. I mean, we've already discussed what an amazingly balanced young lady you are. Not that I'm saying other people aren't balanced, but some of us have more coping skills than others. And that's what I have noticed. And I had hoped that just by our sharing this today would help others who have felt that they're not understood and they're feeling isolated and alone, that there is a way to step forward and deal with how you're feeling without having to be different. And that's one of the things I've found a lot of. So, Vanessa, I'm not sure what's happened to Phoenix, dear Phoenix. And I think we're going to move on. And unless there's something you would like to ask or add to what we've been saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think, especially when you were saying that we aren't all people and that everyone is individual, as much as we all experience mental health is different to every single person, and the way they deal with it and the way they experience it is all very different as well. And I think when it does come to telling someone, do these 3 things and you'll be happy, that doesn't work on everyone, because not everyone is the same, of course. So I do think that anyone who does feel like something's not working for them, even though it's meant to be working for them, honestly, I'm telling you that your feelings are completely valid. And I think a big thing is validating yourself instead of waiting for somebody else to validate the way that you feel, or giving someone the power to invalidate the way you feel, for someone to tell you that you shouldn't feel this way, or it's overreacting, or everyone goes through this, or whatever it is. I think going on that journey to learn how to validate yourself and be proud of yourself for getting this far, or for doing any simple task, I think that's really where the massive change comes in, because I think we rely so much on other people's opinions when our own opinion of ourselves matters the most, and it's the first thing that should matter the most. So I do think that my biggest thing to say to people is to learn to self-validate. It's a journey that I'm going on, and I am encouraging you to go on as well. And I think self-validation is a massive thing that will hopefully put you put a step in the right direction. So yeah, I'm just thankful to be here. You can find me on all social media platforms if you ever want to speak to me, ask any questions, or even if you just want to express the way you feel, vent, whatever it is. If you need advice, it is Inspiring Vanessa everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Vanessa, as always, I mean, I love how the tables have turned. Last year, you were interviewing me at World Jenny's Day, and what an amazing job you did of it as well. I mean, everybody was saying the highlight of last year's World Jenny's Day was your interview, and at the age of 15. The way you presented your questions and responded to them was exceptional. So now the tables have turned, and it's been my turn inadvertently.
No, I'm the one in the chair. I'm the one in the chair
now. And yeah, just always, it's a delight to have you as a World Jenny's Day ambassador, representing the youth for World Jenny's Day. Can't wait. We've got big plans for World Jenny's Day next year, and I can't wait to sit down and talk them with you and see where we can synergize again, because you truly are an inspiration to teenagers, that for whoever might be feeling challenged, it's kind of like when they see somebody like you, it's things can become entirely possible instead of impossible. And thank you for your time today, and just love you loads.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to all of you guys who are watching.
Okay, thank you. Right, so Dr. Jacqueline, I'm going to ask you to come back again, if you wouldn't mind. I don't know if you're there or not, maybe not. We're having great fun here. We're missing one of our singers, and so we've got a little bit of time on our hands. And I thought perhaps what we would do is, and especially as I'm having a technical problem too, suddenly all the technical sides come to a head. I wondered if you would like to ask any questions, and we'll do an Ask Jenetta session again, or anybody in the audience, whilst we move into our very special guest and Helena arriving. Oh, here's Phoenix.
Yes, I was going to say Phoenix is trying to get in, and I just sent Phoenix the link. So Phoenix is here. Welcome, Phoenix.
Well, there we go. Phoenix, hello, sweetheart. Okay, welcome. What an amazing thing for our listeners and our audience today. Phoenix is 15 years old, and she was going to be interviewed by Vanessa, who's just popped off now, who is 16 years old. But Phoenix, I wanted to ask you, what brought you? It's pity we can't bring Vanessa back, because she's got the interview. Vanessa, come back. We love you. All is forgiven. Anyway,
Vanessa's not backstage, though. I'll try to get Vanessa while you're doing that.
All right, wonderful. So Phoenix, welcome today. And I just wanted to ask you, how many years have you been singing?
Well, I started singing in the first lockdown. Hi. I started singing in the first lockdown when just after we started lockdown, because one of my favourite singers at the time was writing a song and she wanted her fans to be in it. So I auditioned to be in it. I didn't get in, but it sort of started me singing, and I started singing lessons in June, July that year, and yeah, I'm still doing singing lessons. So
Wow. Okay, so Vanessa, Phoenix, welcome. Handing over to you. I'm stepping down backstage. Ta-da.
Hi Phoenix, it's lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Virtually. I don't know what Jenetta just asked you, but I'm just gonna head straight into it and see where the conversation goes. But my first question is, because I can tell how passionate you are about music, especially, is what's your favorite piece of music or song that you found that really inspired you? Whether it's the rhythm or if there's a certain lyric that really just inspires you or motivates you.
That's a really hard question. I have a huge playlist with loads of songs. It's like 12 hours long.
Whoa.
Really hard favourite song. I think I'm mainly inspired by Billie Eilish. She really inspires me. I really like her music, and I've listened to her for about a year and a half, and her music really inspires me because it's just the lyrics and all the chords and backing it sounds really good. And recently I've also been inspired by Conan Gray. His music is, one of my friends showed me his music, and he's amazing. I love it. I haven't listened to all his music, but I love the topics, and I really love music that's about the things going on in the world that are bad, like the mental health and war, and I just think that's really important to talk about. And yeah.
I completely agree. I mean, you just named some of my favorite artists as well. I think especially with Billie Eilish, when it comes to even like her music videos, the visuals of them all, you can just tell that music is purely her self-expression, which is so encouraging to see for people as well. And don't even get me started on Conan Gray. I love his music. He is brilliant. So anyone who needs some new artists, I mean, you probably heard of Billie Eilish anyway, but yeah, I 100% agree with you on those two. My next question is, I know that you are going to be doing your GCSEs this academic year, so wishing you the best of luck. I've just finished that, so I'm done with that era of my life, thank goodness. So this question is, has school ever affected your performance in music? And if so, please do give us an example, or if it's caused you maybe to sing better or worse, or has it just affected your performance, and in what way?
Well, I mean, if anything, it's made me better. I do music GCSE. My music teacher is amazing, and I play in the orchestra as well, because I play piano, guitar, ukulele. I play piano in the orchestra, and he's really helped me learn sort of even just playing basic chords, because I'm self-taught. He's really helped me to learn how to play really well. And I think we're also allowed to practice in lunch times at school, and I think having that time as well is quite helpful when I do need to practice. We're also on Friday, actually, I'm doing one of my recordings for my GCSE performing coursework, and I think having all this coursework, composition and performing, which is our coursework, it's really helped me become better at writing music. And I don't think I would have started writing music if it wasn't for starting doing composition in class. So yeah.
I mean, that's really great to hear, because I think for a lot of students, maybe their teachers aren't as supportive as they'd like to be. So little shout out to your music teacher for being brilliant. And it's great to see that you are absolutely enjoying the subject that you're doing, and of course it's helping you inside of school and outside of school as well. But that's really great to hear. Why do you think music helps people so much? I think music is just the remedy for everyone. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, what you've been through. Music just brings people together. And my question is, what's your point of view on that, and why do you think that is?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think there's music for everyone out there. My grandparents listen to classical music. So I play some music like Que Sera Sera for them, and my dad listens to 80s, 90s rock, indie rock music. My mum listens to I don't really know what my mum listens to. My brother listens to the Simpsons blues. Random stuff that my dad shows him, but I think there's definitely something for everyone. There's a whole range of music. You've got new music coming out every day, and I think there's always something to help someone. And music is, there's always music to relate to as well. I think relating to a song is so good. It feels really good, and
I mean, I again 100% agree with you. I think when it comes to music, especially with the relating to it thing, it can be very powerful, because songs, music, they tell a story, and we can all relate to a part of the story or the whole story one way or another. So I think that's also why music just brings people together, and I think that's why we need to have more people like you who obviously love music, as we all do, but also want to make a positive outcome out of that as well, because it kind of brings me on to my next question, which is that music can really uplift someone, but at the same time it can also make someone feel really low, depending on what the lyrics might consist of, or just the tone or the mood of the song. So my question is, what are your words of advice for people who want to feel happier? And it doesn't even have to relate to music, but you can have your own take on it however you want.
Well, talk about how you feel. I think if you don't talk about it and if you bottle it up, it's just going to make you feel worse, and then it's going to all come out and it's really not going to be good. So talk about it, find someone you trust and just open up to them, and find people that you love and that are nice to you, not like with friends as well. I've had some not very nice friendships in the past, but I've learned to leave that and make new friends. Like I've got a whole group of friends who I act with in pantomime every December, and they are the nicest people ever, and I'm so grateful to have them. And I've also got my best friends, and I just think, find people you love and try just do everything with that person. I don't know how to explain it, but
No, you are completely on the right track. I mean, what you're saying here is pretty much surround yourself with people who are gonna accept you for you, and who are gonna love you for all of you, no matter the way you feel on whatever day, or whether you're performing with each other, whatever you're doing, whether you're sitting in class together. Just find that kind of circle of people who accept you for who you are. Because I think, especially in today's day and age, in this society, we are always trying to change ourselves and modify ourselves to be desirable, or to be friends with someone, or just to appear likable in that way. So I think you've made a very, very valid point there, that your kind of circle of people, it's very important, because they can take you out of some very difficult times. Absolutely. So I do agree with you on that one. Surrounding yourself with good people is very, very important as well, or anyone really. Even if you may not be the most sociable person, sometimes another person's opinion can really help as well. Moving on to my next question is, what are your favorite ways of expressing yourself, expressing your emotions, other than music?
well, I was gonna say music, but I also act as well. I do. As I said, I'm in a pantomime, and I think panto is amazing to be in. If you have the opportunity to be in it and you like acting, go for it, because everyone's so nice and you just get to have fun. It's not really serious. Like I've been in performances like Jenetta, which was really fun, but I think with panto you get to let yourself go and have a fun time. And I also, this is really weird, but I think maths also really helps. I just really like algebra.
I mean, wow. I wish I could relate to you, but algebra was one of my least favorite things. So I wish I could, relate to you on this one. But that is good going for you, because I could never. But you have made some very, very good points there once again. I think I do acting as well. So I think being able to, again, that whole idea of telling a story, especially through characters, is really powerful. And again, doing the panto that you just mentioned, you're with a huge cast of people who are also passionate about what you do, and you guys are all there for the same cause, and you get to meet a lot of new people when you put yourself out there. So for anyone who is watching right now and they're trying to find some sort of way to express the way they're feeling, whether they're feeling really happy or they're feeling low, or if they're getting frustrated about something, find a way, just try different things that you can express yourself and figure out which one really works with you. Because once you can find that, so many opportunities come out of that to grow yourself and to learn about yourself, especially. In honor of Mental Health Day, obviously we're here for World Jenny's Day to raise awareness of mental health struggles. So what is your tip that you'd give someone who's experiencing a lot of sadness?
Well, you're not alone. You're not alone in the fight. There's so many people that are willing to help you, and I just think talk to them, talk about it, you don't want to be stuck in a hole that you can't escape because you're too scared to tell someone how you feel. And yeah, and music again does really help. I think find the sort of music you love and you can listen to that. Don't let anyone say, oh, you can't listen to this, you've got to listen to Ed Sheeran or something. And yeah, just be yourself as well. Always being yourself is very important. So yeah.
Yeah, staying true to who you are is the most important thing. Absolutely. But that was all my questions. But thank you so much. You did brilliant. I'm feeling very inspired. I want to go sing a song, even though I can't sing. So thank you for that.
Vanessa, thank you for hopping back and
Of
for
course.
that inspiring Vanessa interview. And Phoenix, we would love you to do your song. Over to you.
This is a song I wrote called A Million Yesterdays Ago. So yeah, here it is. Pink clouds in the evening sky, winter's breeze on another night, pretty people in the sand, listening to the brass band, boats sailing on the water, people fishing in the harbor, the sun's almost set on the horizon and you're not here right now. A million yesterdays ago, you were sitting by the shoreline with me. We were eating ice cream and talking nicely while we listened to the waves. A million yesterdays ago, I didn't have to miss you like I do now, because you used to be with me, but now you're gone. I took my ukulele to the beach one day. I played your favorite song to the people in the bay. I played my music till they were all gone. Now I'm alone. Why couldn't you stay a little longer and listen to me sing your favorite song? But now my head's stuck in the clouds, looking for you. Oh, a million yesterdays ago, you were sitting by the rock pools with me. We were laughing and smiling endlessly while we watched the sinking sun. A million yesterdays ago, I didn't have to miss you like I do now, because you used to be with me, but now you're gone. Thank you.
Wonderful. Considering that you're pretty new to this, you've got a beautiful voice, and yeah, congratulations. I'm really looking forward to hearing where you go with this and the very special music teacher you have. And thank you for being with us today. It's been so lovely to get to meet you and to hear your talent. This is great. Having this age group here on this day is what it's all about. So thank you both for being here, and see you both soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And I would like to invite Helena Shah to come back and join me today. Hello, Helena.
Hello. Oh, how lovely. Wasn't that lovely? Oh, that was so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Inspiring Vanessa.
Voice. I can see, and I can see why she likes Billie Eilish so much. She's going to go far. And Vanessa, well, she always blows me away. She for 16 years old.
Yeah. She's
Amazing
very,
lady. So
yeah, very good. Very inspiring, all of it. So thank you. So here we
yeah.
are. What a great this has been such a great run, Jenetta. How are you feeling? Are you good?
I'm fine. I don't know about Dr. Jacqueline because I think she's been there non-stop. I've taken an hour out, but I'm good. I've got a second wind. I was beginning to fall off my chair a little bit, but we're here.
It's been very entertaining.
It's been a special day, and we've still got some amazing things, including right now. And I would love to hand the baton over to you, Helena, and introduce our very special next guest.
Goodness me. Our next guest is full of fizz, I would say. Incredibly talented, probably one of the most talented people I know. She trained in Hamburg with the best. She's a fabulous singer, predominantly opera singer, but she's so good she can sing any genre of music. And she doesn't need a mic, which is amazing. There's a lot more to her as well. I mean, she has an album out, Somebody Loves Me, Gershwin, with James Pearson. And I mean, also, I think something she's very, very passionate, as we are all, about mental health wellness, and very interested in how we can improve certain situations with young adults. So I am very excited to welcome the one and only fabulous Frederica Crum.
What an introduction. Thank you. Thank you for having me, both of you. On a special and emotional day. And yes, we all talk about it, but there are so many who actually live the mental health struggle. And I'm sure we all have sort of people who don't officially have mental health struggle. We all have our lows. And it is so easy for us to think, oh gosh, yeah, you know, just get off on the sofa, the sun's shining outside, let's just go for a walk and you'll feel better. It's just not how it works. It really isn't. And however well meant a lot of these sentences are, and said day in and out by parents who try to do their very best to help their children or friends who are struggling, it's actually not helping. It's almost, one just really has to listen and understand. And sometimes you feel so low when you have depression or whatever other struggles that you actually can't even choose which socks to put on to go outside. Just the thought of it, you just curl up in bed, sleep through 3 days, and you sort of have the chance to emerge. But you need that sort of time out and seclusion. And of course, if you're not on medication or you're not at that stage where you did seek help, you can't feel that there's the sun above the clouds. It really feels like there will never be a cloud. Gone. You're constantly underneath. And that is so tiring and overwhelming and scary. So I think it's just important that we listen how our friends around us feel and reach out a hand, but don't lecture or assume we know, you know, how they feel, because it is really can be very desperate. But I think the most important thing is to give the message out that although this is how they feel, there is a sun above the clouds, and that they, if they can at all times, hang in there, hang on, and wait for the sun to shine through the clouds again, because it will.
A beautiful,
very deep entrance.
I know, thank you. No, it came from the heart, and I love that. And I know you have 2 children.
Yeah.
And obviously it comes from a place of, you know, you have a certain years.
Oh, yeah, I have been that parent, and I had to learn the hard way to actually really say, sorry, I really don't understand this, and I really have to make myself knowledge in order to help and support as much as I can. And of course, my own struggles, you know, I have PTSD after a very traumatic assault, and you go through very dark moments. And it is only thanks to wonderful friends and, of course, music that I am where I am today, but as well because I did trust in reaching out. And that's important. But, you know, not everybody can, and not everybody has access. That is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, that is another story altogether. But it is being able to, as you say, step out and feel safe enough to open your mouth, because often it doesn't feel safe enough. People's energy changes around you when you start talking certain conversations with certain words in them. And that is why today is what it is today, because I've seen, having put on the theatrical production Insight, where we use contemporary dance and music and voiceover, how it shifted people's ability to express themselves, because creativity softens the conversation and bridges that difficult, and that's why we're so inspired to have you here today, Frederica. Thank you so much for being with us here on World Jenny's Day. Frederica, I know you've got a very busy schedule where you're singing, and it's just wonderful that you could take this time and spend some time, because if this can make a difference to one person,
absolutely.
Job.
Absolutely. And you know, I've been inspired by listening to people opening up about it, and it did help me. So I think it's just, you know, sharing is caring, and we can only share our knowledge and our journey that we learned to deal with certain situation, and it will benefit people if they're willing to listen, open to listen, and able to. Not everybody's in the place right now to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Journey.
Very, very true. So I know you've sent through two clips for us to watch this evening, which is really rather special. And I know Dr. Jacqueline's got them lined up for you. So would you like to talk about them? What would you like to say?
I don't know which ones you have sort of chosen in the end, but I mean, it's not really so much about my singing tonight. It's not really about the sing. Well, maybe you can blend them in and blend them out again. We don't have to sit 2.5 minutes and listen to my singing. I think I'd rather talk about.
No, we do.
Yeah,
no. This is about singing and performing. We've had song and dance and poetry. And just now we're going into a 2-horse meditation, by the way, but it's all about celebrating mental health wellness through arts, and we would love to hear your singing. I know I'm talking for myself, but I'm sure
is a huge release and relief to express and to let tension flow. Certainly for the ones who perform the music, because it literally flows out of us, but as well for those who receive the music. And in lockdown we have seen how many people were deprived of live music, and what it did to all the world over. And I think I certainly survived a lot of the challenges that were thrown at me, because I had that release and relief through music. And it is magical what music can do.
It's just amazing.
Can I just interrupt as well, that Frederica, during lockdown, she gave some lovely concerts where she lived in her area. So she'd be outside her house, but gave these amazing concerts to people, and people would come and listen to her. But how lovely is that? How giving is that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was partly selfish, because I needed to do something. I was going otherwise stir crazy. I mean, there's only so much wonderful Netflix that you can watch. And I'm always somebody who is very positive and proactive. I'm not usually one to sulk and sort of, you know, look at what's going wrong in life. If something goes wrong, I look at how to change it. And that is a gift that I'm very aware of. And can be sometimes overbearing for my poor children when I always see the positive. But it did help me big time. And that's why I went outside my front garden and did sing, because it did help me. And in the end, everybody else was enjoying them too. So I spread a little bit of joy during lockdown.
Yes. And I know that you have a great rapport with the Chelsea pensioners.
I do.
Which, and give hugely charity-wise. And I think one of the clips that we have is you performing. Is that right? And I think it's something to do, it's talking about...
Oh, you mean the one with Russell Watson at the Royal Albert Hall?
I think so.
Is that with the Chelsea pensioners?
Yes.
There was a song I recorded with Russell to raise funds for their wonderful, the world over famous, iconic Scarlets uniform. I don't know, is that the clip you've chosen?
I think we've got that clip. I don't, if we've got it to hand, I'm not too sure, Jenetta.
I'm not sure. We've got two clips lined up. Let's see.
Let's see which one it is.
Magic.
Go with the flow.
Let's see what magic they present.
All
Over
one.
to you, production.
Serve our country, proud to do my tour of duty, eager to believe we'd make this world a safer place. Write a letter home to mother, pray we're not machine gun fodder. Dare to dream we'll walk again our green and pleasant land. Push on, with the faith that I believe in and the strength to carry on. Push on, it's every man for himself in this hell called home from home.
That was so lovely. I didn't want
That
it
was
to
indeed
stop.
the one. It's interesting listening to the lyrics again. I mean, it's called Home from Home, but the lyrics are sort of, it's for obviously the mental struggle and challenges that soldiers have when they're on tour. And the lyrics were sort of push on. And, you know, depression, I have learned, is the curse of the strong, as many call it as well, because a lot of people who easily just give up and don't push themselves and just, too complicated, they don't reach that sort of exhaustion that very often, if you keep pushing and ask all these exceptional things from yourself and are a perfectionist and constantly beat yourself up over not having done this or that correctly, you are powering yourself out, and exhaustion and depression and all of those dark thoughts can creep in much easier because you're never content with what you do. You're always asking yourself to do more. So there's a good book called The Curse of the Strong, and it explains things rather well.
It does.
Beautiful.
Wow. And I love those Chelsea pensioners too. Just amazing. And I know we've got that second clip, Dr. Jacqueline. Do you want to bring it out?
feeling all Christmassy now.
Taylor, is that Schubert, isn't it?
No, that was the one from Bach, actually.
Oh, is it? Okay, absolutely.
And funny enough, that I recorded for a fundraising carol concert from North of Robbins, which is an amazing charity that raises funds for music therapy because of the incredible healing power that, of course, music has, reaching children or anybody in particular who has such an illness that you are not able to communicate with the outside world. You're kind of trapped in your body. You haven't got speech. You haven't got the brain capacity to actually communicate. So suddenly with music, they start to open up. They start to interact. They start to clap. They start to hum. They can't even speak, but they suddenly, it's unbelievable what you see, what music can do to reach people. I mean, people in coma suddenly react or even wake up through music. It's magical what music can do. It really is. And their work from North Province is incredible.
Wow. You know, Frederica, it's just your voice alone. I could sit and listen and it would change me if I got home to a bad day. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your music with us and your thoughts and your advice, because as I say, it's had the capacity to help one, if not many. And Helena, thank you too for coming back again. This is the third time. Thank you for your love and support and belief in this day, because I do believe what we've done already today has been just amazing. And I couldn't have done it without this whole team that's going on behind us. So Frederica, thank you. I look forward to meeting you again.
Likewise, absolutely. And amazing work that you're doing. It's really important, and that we will do this together, and that they know they're not alone and they're heard and loved.
Yes.
Love.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right. Thank you. Bye. So Helena, we're going to be bringing Red O'Loughlin up. Red, would you like to come up now? And welcomes. Thank you so much for being with us today. This is wonderful.
I'm so honored, Jenetta, that you thought to invite me today. So appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'm just as honored that you accepted, and you have no idea what it has meant to me and us as a team to have you here to co-host. For our viewers and listeners, Red is part of the USA Global TV team, and he co-hosts a show with Dr. Jacqueline, and I think you're also a talking head, aren't you?
I am also. That is correct.
Yes. So talking head and a fabulous publisher. So we're just delighted to have you with us today. And of course, what we've got here, and I know she's needing to get going to work. She's very specially booked this slot today early so she can get to work. We're going right over to New Zealand to FIONA MEAD today. And she's doing a 2-horse meditation with us. So FIONA, welcome.
Hi, wonderful to be here, and a warm but cool morning welcome from New Zealand. Thank you for having me on the show. I just am thrilled to be here, and my horses have already started the meditation, but I'd just like to pick up on what Frederica was saying about how music is healing, and I think in the future medicine will actually be based on vibrational medicine, which includes colour and sound. So I feel blessed to be here, and I would like to hold space for everyone to bring some heart and mind cohesion. So the Heart Math Foundation has shown that when we bring cohesion between our brain and our hearts, that we sink into a harmonious vibration, and in doing so our body then can undergo relaxation and healing, and find that that gentle space where we can nurture and actually hear our heart and open to our own unique and individual blessings that we need to be sharing with the rest of the world. So the horses do feel the emotional energy. They've got huge heart energy, and they can feel, their heart energy can feel other beings a football field away. So it really is quite large, unlike humans, which tend to be, 2 to 3 meters, sometimes up to 8 or 10. So horses are also known to be very healing. Autistic children have great therapy with horses, and even just coming out and brushing a tail or just being with horses somehow feels really healing to me, and I know it is for a lot of other people as well. So I'd just like to share a short meditation, and I'm just going to open the space so that you can create in yourselves that balance between heart and brain, and maybe the horses will bring some antics and maybe they'll just stand rock solid still. It's always interesting to find what they do each day, and it can be quite different. I did bring everyone a present. And the present I'd like to bring from Kiwi land is one of being present in the moment. And that is the most important gift, because when we collect and gather our energy into the moment and live truly in the now, then we are really blessed. Can't quite tell what horses will be doing in the moment, and you did get to meet Kiara, the grey one, and Ollie, who's my little healing horse. He does like the energy, and he'll start backing up right now and probably want a butt scratch. So certainly putting on all the performance today.
Honestly, Fiona, I find that amazing. I find it amazing, don't you, Red? I mean, I've never known a horse meditation. Never known.
I've never heard of it before in my life. Experienced it here. Almost fell asleep, but actually I did fall asleep a couple of times by the time I finally caught myself. Okay, fine, I'm back here with the living again. But it was interesting to see how the horse was trying to connect with her. And I don't know what the vibe was going between her body and the horse, or the minds, or whatever, but it's just one of those things that we never ever see. And just on USA Global TV and radio, we have seen it.
Yeah, I mean, what was going on, Fiona, with Ollie, your favorite horse, Ollie, the healing horse? As you were going into a meditative state, do you connect? What part do you connect with the horse? Is it? I'm not understanding.
At the beginning, I actually felt everybody's heart energy. My heart energy was expanding. I was opening my heart, and then the horses tend to like to come into that space. I've had a Hong Kong thoroughbred who was very difficult to halter, and after 2 sessions of meditation, he just let me halter him. I wasn't chasing him around a pen or trying to connect with him at that sort of, they call it the meet up, or joining up, sorry, and he just changed because I held space that they are used to being in, because that's their natural space, and it's actually all of our natural space to be in that calm energy, and we just get so caught up in life and all the external parts of life. He's now stretching really good to me. And it's just lovely to come back to that quietness and come home into your own body and feel at home in your body. I sat for 3 years on a couch in deep depression, and eventually I just said to myself one day, I said, I don't want to be like this for the rest of my life. This is a waste of life. And it took probably another year or two to keep closing the door on those demons that were literally luring me down certain pathways. And when they would come up, I would simply say, no, I close that door. I don't want to go down there. Because once you open the door and you go a certain way down into that cycle, you have to follow the whole train track. And it will, you'll be a train wreck. And it's only through that, and it strengthened my mind to have the resolve to not open certain doors that my mind was prompting me to go into. So, after coming out of it, I bless it and I thank it for being in my life, for making me a stronger person. But at the time, it is really hard, very hard. And so I would like to extend one day a week, one evening probably, New Zealand time, that if anyone does want to join me through my Facebook page, sometimes even if you can't get out with the horses, you're welcome to come and meditate with me. So as a continuation from this wonderful journey with you, Jenetta, and everyone here, it's just some way to keep the energy flowing and to keep everyone's spirit alive, and saying that we can make the change in the world that needs to happen and that is happening right now. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Fiona.
you. Thanks, Fiona. And I believe you're going off to work now and in a calm state of mind.
Yes, and it will be a lovely day. Thank you.
Oh, have a wonderful one, and big hugs or gentle hugs to those two beings behind you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Blessings to everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Fiona.
Fiona.
Bye. Before I step off and hand over to these two wonderful co-hosts, I wanted to introduce our listeners and audience to Sam. Sam, welcome. We had I decided to do it later rather than earlier when you started drawing. And to introduce Sam's backstory a little bit in terms of her and World Jenny's Day, Sam came in last year for World Jenny's Day and drew it for us, and it's on our website for last year, Drew the Day. But we were fortunate, it was a Sunday, so you could be there for the day, and it was amazing. You and Patty Dobrovolsky drew the whole day. We've got the whole day drawn. And Sam, I'm going to just quickly, if you would like to just quickly explain what you've managed to do so far and how long you're with us for today.
So thank you for asking me to come back. Really privileged to be part of World Jenny's Day again. So what I've actually been doing is, while everyone's been speaking, I've been backstage. I've been illustrating and capturing the words of what people have been talking about. So you can see here at the top, we've got Federica, and I've just been capturing some of the key words here and just doing some illustrations. Obviously, Fiona now with her amazing horse meditation. And what I plan to do is we've got another 2 sessions. We've got Maxine, Ryan and the bee. And at the end of this, it won't be fully finished because obviously it takes a little while to get it all illustrated, but there'll be words and drawings which will capture the main parts of what people are speaking about on the slots that I'm involved in. Well, what we call this is graphic recording or live illustration work.
It's wonderful to see it having taken shape so quickly, considering the amount of time you've been here. I can't wait to see the end of it. And I just want to thank you for being here as I hop off and let our 2 capable co-hosts take over and leave you to draw. So I'll see you all just now.
Thank you.
It's been a while since the 2 of us were on together. What has it been?
Yes, has it? Very much so. My gosh, the last time was about the it was the reunion show, wasn't it?
I bet it was.
Reunion. Yeah,
I bet it was.
for
Yes.
for Dr. Jacqueline, USA Global TV. Oh my gosh, yeah.
It seems like we're in 2 different spheres, at least 2 different parts of the world anyway.
It does, doesn't it? It does. So our next guest, I believe, is Maxine Ryan, jazz singer extraordinaire, based in London.
Correct. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. We can. And Jenetta has been telling us so much about you and about your voice and the way your jazz, your soul tones, your sultry tones. Yeah, we want to hear about you.
What would you like to know?
Red?
Okay, assume I know nothing about you because I don't. So tell me a little bit about Maxine.
Okay.
Where'd you grow up? How'd you get involved with music? How did you train your voice to become as sultry as we hear it is? Let the world know a little bit about Maxine today.
Okay. So my name's Maxine Ryan. I'm a singer. I sing soul and jazz. And I've been singing for over 20 years. I wouldn't say, I mean, this is just the voice I've been born with. Obviously, I've built it over the years. I first started singing in gospel choirs, and then I progressed into jazz and released some dance tracks. I studied as a mature student at Guildhall. I have a master's in jazz voice from Guildhall, which is a pretty renowned music. It's a conservatoire. I've had the good fortune to have performed at most of London's iconic venues. I work with some wonderful musicians. I've got various ensembles, so we do jazz, soul, bit of funk, disco, dance, and we get booked for all sorts of things like weddings, corporate events, private parties, from anything from a duo up until, an octet, an 8-piece band. And we do that in London and over the UK, and would be willing to go anywhere in the world, dependent on the client. And for me, it's something I consider singing my God job. I decided that I wanted to become a singer maybe like 30 years ago or something like that. And it's been a very long journey to today. I've done lots of inner work on myself. I didn't realise when I decided that I wanted to be a singer that I'd have to do so much work on myself inside, which I've been doing for many, many years, and long may it continue. I'm a work in progress. What I didn't realise is that when I first started standing up in front of people, that I would have to face every single negative self-concept I had about myself. And that's the healing journey. And I think any singer would tell you that, because you have to heal so much emotionally to be able to stand open and be able to be a conduit for music and sound. And in order to do that effectively, or in a relaxed manner, have to work through lots of stuff. And I didn't have any idea of any of this when I decided that I wanted to be a singer. So it's been a journey and a half. And I've been blessed. I've had some wonderful gigs. I've had a great education. I work with wonderful musicians. And I've recently released a single actually called Positivity, which is a samba, a beautiful loungy samba. And I wanted to do it this evening, but I couldn't find the backing tracks. So I'll do some soul stuff. But that's you can see that on my Instagram. And that's getting remixed. So hopefully that'll be a wonderful dance track soon, which I'll be able to send out. And my thinking behind that is that I wanted to touch hearts and minds on dance floors as well. I was very involved in the dance scene, like the rave scene or whatnot, many moons ago. And I think when people are dancing, that's, we're open as well to good and bad things. So that's why I thought positivity would be a good thing to maybe do a dance track too. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it. Next question.
That's impressive. Absolutely impressive, Maxine. It's, resume that's, yeah.
If you allow me to take,
right.
If you allow me to take you back, if you allow me to take you back just a little bit, you're talking about connecting with the emotional energy that the full body involvement. And it hasn't even been a week since I posted something on Facebook. I can't remember the singer, but she was invited to sing with Elvis Presley. And one of the towards the end of all his engagements, he always did gospel music. And he invited her to, and she's kind of declined. But after she did, she said she just felt this enormous emotional that she had never felt before in her life. It was just something that was void from her. And listening to you, it sounds like that's kind of where your totality of your singing environment came, or actually started that way. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I certainly started off and got in gospel choirs and stuff. And also it's safety in numbers, isn't it? I mean, it's a big deal. Well, for me it was. Some other people it might not be, but for me it was, to be able to stand up, alone and sing. It's a big deal. You've got to have nerves of steel. You've got to be strong. You've got to, it takes a lot. It really does take a lot. I have so much respect for people, regardless of what they sound like, to get up and sing in front of people live. It's tough. So with regards to gospel choirs, safety in numbers, I've always loved God anyway. And I love singing I love singing all those gospel songs anyway. And there is something about singing chorally. It has been proven that it is good for our health. That is like facts, #facts. Something to do with please forgive me if I do not pronounce this correctly. Is it hemoglobin? The levels shoot up by 200, 300% when human beings sing chorally. So yeah, it's a very good thing to do for us to sing chorally. But I loved it. I love the harmonies, and I love the camaraderie. And there is something about being involved in a wall of sound, like, oh my God, a wall of sound that are created by voices. I find quite overwhelming is not the right word. Powerful, incredibly powerful, and it's like heaven goes woo, like that. Heaven goes woo, like that, with music and harmony. That's how I experienced it anyway.
Yeah, amazing, absolute. Maxine, I mean, are you going to be singing today for us?
I'd hope so. I'm just hoping that the sound's going to be okay, because I've got I'll be singing live.
Yeah.
I've got like a backing track. So
Yeah.
can you hear me fine on this level talking? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I can do. Do you want me to do that now?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, cool.
Would love that.
Right, I just hope the sound's going to be okay. My chérie amour, lovely as a summer day. My chérie amour, distant as the Milky Way. My chérie amour, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only girl my heart beats for. How I wish you were mine. In a cafe, or sometimes on a crowded street. I've been near you, but you never noticed me. My chérie amour, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only girl my heart beats for. How I wish you were mine. La 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 la. 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 Maybe someday you'll see my face above the crowd. Maybe someday I'll share your little distant cloud. Oh, chérie amour, can't you see that you I do adore? That behind that little smile I wore, how I wish you were mine. Do 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 do.
I'm in love with your voice.
Isn't
Thank
it?
you.
Yeah. Really, it's effortless. You make it so effortless. And the sultry, beautiful velvet. Your voice is just so just so smooth, really smooth. You know, I think of Sade, but you're even more.
Oh, I used to love Sade.
More expanded than Sade.
Yeah.
Oh, you're truly gifted, Maxine. Honestly, we're truly honoured. Really, I just love your voice.
Thank you.
Really do. Thank you,
Maxine. I thank you for coming through today again. I mean, you are amazing. I have met Maxine during
you
COVID.
have.
And we were at, I think it was Home House together, weren't we? And you know, your personality was amazing, because I was looking a little lost, and suddenly this personality came up and hugged me and said, "Jenetta, it's you." It's just wonderful to have you today, and thank you for coming.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Maxine.
I wish you all the very best, and sending much love and good vibrations for this whole thing, and long may it continue. And I really hope you touch many, many hearts, souls and minds through it. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wow. So we have another guest. His name is the Bee, known as Dexy. Hi, the Bee.
Hi, how are you?
Good, we're good, very good. And where are you from? Where are you?
Manchester.
Manchester.
Yes.
Oh my God, Red. Me and Dex go back a long way, and basically, honestly, it's like Dex is like my soul brother, cosmic soul brother, and I never knew he was a drag queen. I never knew.
For so many years, really. We lost touch for a few years, didn't we?
We did.
We knew each other like in the late 90s, wasn't it? And then I moved to Gran Canaria. I lived there for many years. Maddie was living in Malta and all different places. We lost touch. And then once we got back in touch again, I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I was doing my show. And she's like, what show? Oh, my drag show. She's like, what? You're a drag queen?
Oh, you're amazing. Yeah. So tell us about you, the Bee.
Well, the Bee has a new obsession. It's called Maxine Ryan.
Yes.
Obsessed. So I'll definitely be looking into a bit of Maxine when I get off here. But, you know, I'm just in Manchester. I'm traveling around the UK at the moment, doing my show in different venues all throughout the whole of the UK. I do like a multi-tribute show. It's like a fun kind of comedy singing show where it's just like I do all different characters like Cher, Dolly Parton, Tina Turner, Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson. Just have loads of fun with the people, the audience, basically. And just we have a really good time every time I go out. That's my night job. I only do that at weekends. And of course, as you know, Maddie, in the daytime, I run a dog rescue and I do a dog walking service, you know. So I'm always busy with like dogs. Animals are my number one, which was great to see the horses before as well, you know, because they always come first, you know.
Fantastic. So what are you going to do for us today for World Jenny's Day?
Okay, for World Jenny's Day, I thought it'd be nice to do something a little bit upbeat. I thought I'd bring you all back to the 1980s, which is my favourite era for music, my absolute favourite time. And I want to bring you one of my icons, someone who I loved growing up as a child and someone who's even more fabulous now, which is the one and only Boy George. Okay, so I thought I'd give you a quick transformation. It only takes 2 minutes. Don't worry, I won't be here all night. I'll have to take my headphones off for this. So this is how I quickly get changed into Boy George for my show. So I will rip the wig off. There we go. Take the... Get rid of them. We don't need them anymore. Here we go. Boy George is such a great one to do because he was such an icon, you know, and everybody all over the world loves Boy George. They love Culture Club. They love all the 80s music. 80s is back. I don't know whether you saw It's a Sin on Netflix or not, but it's a great show, but brought the 80s back. So here we go. Very, very easy. Wig on. Here we go. Looks a bit of a hot mess, you see. These things only ever come together right at the very end, you see. This is how we do these things, you see. Give a little bit of styling of the fringe. There we go.
Oh.
Bring the plaits around. Gloves. And I'm ready. I'm ready to give you my Boy George 80s fantasy. Here we go. Are we ready? I hope you like the 1980s, by the way. I've just kind of took it upon myself to do this. So
love the 80s.
And Maddie, I'm going to kill you for putting me on after Maxine Ryan. Please don't expect anything hard. It's like
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
It's like, you know, it's like American Idol, you know, when they have like the amazing one on and then they put the really shit one on afterwards. We'll speak about that later. Don't worry.
Yeah. Don't worry. You can give me a grilling later for it.
Here we go. I want to hear you both singing along in the background because I know you know these songs. Here we go. Hey, can you hear that?
Yes.
Is it loving in your eyes all the way? If I listen to your lies, would you say I'm a man without foundation? I'm a man who doesn't know how to say confrontation. You come and go, you come and go. Come to me. Every day, and you used to be so sweet. I heard you say that my love is sanitation. When you came, our love is strong. When you go, you gone forever. You string along, you string along. Come to me.
Thank you.
Wow, it's incredible. Red, what do you feel?
A
Hey,
little
wait a
younger.
minute.
A little younger.
Oh, we're back again.
A little younger.
Well, you know, 70s, 80s, big time in my life. I was, well, actually 60s when I was a teenager, but still saying the music is great all the way. Just it changes here, there, and yonder, but it's all good.
It really is, you know, music's always been such a massive part of my life, you know, and I think just as long as we celebrate it, have a good time, have fun, the world, you know, we need to be more optimistic about the future because it's very easy to slip into the pessimism, you know, and at the moment the world's a very grey place, which is why, as I can see from your backdrops, and obviously the more colour we can bring into the world right now, the better. I think the world is relying on us to bring a little bit of colour into the world, you know, and everyone's doing a great job. It's so refreshing to see so many people on here doing great things. And it's been refreshing. It restores my faith in humanity, you know. It's been really great.
I need to ask you a question, B. How did you get the name B, the B?
Well, my drag name came just after, if you can remember can you remember when we had a tragedy in Manchester? There was an Ariana Grande concert and there was a massive bombing and lots of people lost their lives. It was a real tragedy. And I lost one of my friends in that as well. He was at the concert at the time. And just after that, the people of Manchester really came together. They all came together and we said, we're not going to let this stop us from being the amazing nation and the amazing city of people that we are. And all over Manchester, we took a symbol of the bee. It's called the Manchester bee. And everywhere you go in Manchester, you'll see symbols of bees everywhere. And the bee is a symbol of strength, unity, building back stronger, being great, and looking in the face of adversity and saying, we've got this, we can do it. And that's where my drag name came from, because I thought, that's what I'm about, you know. I've fallen so many times, as you know, Maddie, you know, there's been so many times in life where I've fallen to the bottom, and it's about getting up. It's about moving on. It's about finding that glimpse of positivity somewhere and moving on. And that's where the bee comes from.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's a beautiful. That's so. It means so much. It's such much strength there.
And if anyone is visiting Manchester, which is a great city, it's a beautiful city, and it's very diverse, and there's some wonderful people here. You'll see bees everywhere. You'll see little symbols of bees everywhere on people's cars everywhere. It's something that we kind of want to spread throughout the world, you know.
Well, Bea, let me ask you a question because of the positivity that you're exuding now. You said your day job deals with animals, rescue, walking, etc. Is that where you get a lot of positivity in your life on a daily basis?
Absolutely. I'm completely at my happiness when I'm at my happiest when I'm around animals. You know, I do enjoy human company, of course, but on a spiritual level, I don't think I can find in a human what I can find in an animal. I really can't. You know, they've got such a higher vibration. And I just like to be around them all the time. You know, I can't imagine life without them.
We've got to get you a bee with Amina.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Psychic, the animal psychic, because
definitely. Show.
Yeah. And Red knows of this Amina, and we should put you with Amina because she's the pet psychic. So that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, that would be a really neat experience, I bet.
You dress up as drag.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, definitely.
No, she has a very neat interconnection with animals, and it's amazing. They talk to her, and she talks to them, and it's just an amazing experience to listen to her have conversation. I mean, it's just, yeah, you would be a great person to connect with Amina.
Oh, that is fabulous. That really is fabulous. You know.
So
yeah.
So in addition to Maxine, now you have Amina you need to connect with, and you don't even know her yet, but she will know you so well.
I love her already.
Oh my gosh. And the bee also produces music, Red.
Oh, he does.
Don't you, Bee?
Yeah. I've been producing music for a long time now. Me and Maddie used to work together a lot back in the day, didn't we, Maddie? Like
we
going
certainly
back
did.
Many years, you know.
With a few named bands, but
yeah,
we're not going to mention them.
We did travel a lot with various pop groups, etc. You know, yeah, we've made a lot of music in our time.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, do you remember that time we were in Spain? We were in Spain, and Degsy, the bee, was Peter Andre, and I was Bjork. And we got booked. Oh God, we got booked, didn't we?
Yeah,
we got booked
as a tribute show.
A tribute show, and we got there, and they were expecting, it was an old people's home. They were expecting really nice, you know, smooth swing type of act.
And we were like, don't think so.
We had the strobe lights on because Degsy is really good at visionary and stage management and stage. So it was quite alarming.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for the old people. I thought they were, bless them. I think they thought it was like World War One because we had the big sirens going.
We had sirens, flashing lights, smoke machines.
So we
wrong place at the wrong time. I felt so sorry for them. Me and Maddie had the time of our lives, but I don't think anyone else did.
Yeah. But the bee, is there any, you do comedy as well. Can you do any kind of comedy for us now?
Oh God, no. I've got nothing. got none of my things prepared, you know, like to bring on for you.
But just the voice.
I do comedy routines, but they take a lot of preparation. I'm not a stand-up comic where I can just get up and start giving you jokes, you know. That's not me. It's all routines. It's all needs to be organized before, you know.
And how long does it take for your makeup?
It takes about an hour. Yeah.
It takes about an hour. Wow. And the B, before we're going to close now for this hour, where can people reach you?
I'm on Facebook as The B Drag. I'm on Instagram as The B Drag, or B Media also on Facebook. And that's it really. I'm also on Instagram, yeah. So they can reach me anywhere really. Or if they're in the UK, I'm always traveling around. I have do my show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. I'm always in a different place each time. So I'm sure I'll bump into some of you along the way.
Wonderful. It's been great, honestly, the B. I've never seen you in drag. I just find it so strange. I'm kind of like trying to.
Oh, it's been so nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it. It's been great. It's been great to watch everything else that's been going on as well. It's been a great, really nice event, you know.
Thank you, B. Thank you.
Take care. Enjoy the rest of the night.
All
right.
Bye, B.
Now.
I'm shocked.
That was a really. I'm finding a hard time. He talked about Ariana Grande and the explosion there and stuff, and those things are just and to pick up after that and to assume a name like that, they're just it kind of sent shivers down me a little bit. The fact that he's doing it so well.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal. How he's working everything together, and the fact that Manchester now have the emblem of the B as an emblem of strength and unity. I love that. I love that.
Okay, I think we need to have Dr. Jacqueline close us out for right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is